A citizens group is organizing an attempted shutdown of all ports of entry, the bridges coming in from Mexico. At least that's the hope. And they would like to do that this coming Saturday, September 20th. And on behalf of this effort that we found online, the Shutdown All Ports of Entry effort for the 20th, Stacy Barth joining us from California. Stacy, where are you right now?
In Murrieta, California.
Tell me about this movement. How many supporters do you have? Is there any way to gauge who's supporting this call?
Right now, it's pretty difficult to tell. I think it's about 1,600 or almost 1,700 people registered on Facebook right now. There are other people that are emailing, some are calling, and others just don't. We know that certain groups are coming, but they don't want to publicize it. So it could be anywhere from 0 to another 3,000.
Where did all this start, Stacy? What this specific movement to try to shut the ports of entry, the bridges on September 20th? What's the genesis of this?
Well, actually, it's been culminating for years. I think it finally came to a head when Sergeant Tahmooressi was arrested and not released. I have a very big soft spot for our military, and I am extremely grateful for what they do for us, for me in particular, and for my family by keeping us safe. And I think it's our duty to help protect them when they need us. And I feel like Sergeant Tahmooressi has been abandoned in Mexico, and I do believe that he did not break any laws. So I am trying to get him back. As far as the border situation, it's like I said, I'm born and raised California. It's been something that's been bothering me for years. And in California, they're very militant, the pro-illegal groups are, especially La Raza. And I just don't see that that's what our country is supposed to be about.
So what's the call for Saturday, Stacy? What is this movement hoping to achieve on Saturday? At what time? How does it work? Do you know?
Well, yes, I have a plan. It is basically at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so it could be 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., depending on where you are. And I'm focusing on 25 ports. I'm going to really focus on the major ports of entry to close them down until the United States and Mexico.
How do you propose to close them down? What's the call?
To bring your vehicle there and stop the traffic.
Just get in front of the vehicles that are coming in and just be a block, just like a blockade type of thing?
Correct. It's more of a slowdown, so you're doing it safely. I'm not advocating anyone do anything militant or any of that nature. It's more just, put your hazards on, slowly slow your vehicle down so the people behind you have to slow down as well.
Okay.
And then come to a stop and wave your American flag until we can get our 8 goals. That's what we're going to do and stay. This coming
Saturday, September 20th, it is the Shutdown All Ports of Entry campaign that is being put together by some citizens groups at several ports of entry. At least that's the call. That's what they wish to do is to slow down traffic at these bridges. Joining us on 710 KURV with information on this campaign is Stacy Barth from California.
Stacy, Tim Sullivan here. As far as the situation here, you have very little support for your proposed action from people that matter, especially the business people, the economic development folks down here, because of the disruption to the commercial traffic that will occur. Law enforcement officials are going to be out in force to ensure that commercial traffic flows unimpeded. How do you plan to deal with that?
Well, peacefully. It's our constitutional right to express our grievances to our government. And there is no designated free speech zone given by the Constitution, and the government isn't listening to us. So,
why do you want to disrupt our economy to get your point across? You don't think there's a better way?
Can you think of one?
I'm asking you.
I've tried. I've honestly tried everything. The only thing I can think of to secure our borders is to physically secure it.
Going back to what Tim was talking about, has anybody from Customs, Border Protection, or anyone, have they reached out to you and said, hey, could you please not do this? It's not exactly a good idea. Has anybody from the feds or anybody reached out to you to talk to you about that?
I've called them.
Okay.
I've called everyone, Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection, Border Patrol.
What, to try to coordinate with them a slowdown and try to make it a press event type of thing?
No, I'm not trying to. I haven't called any press other than sent out press releases for travel advisories. It's more of so they can be protected because I'm doing this for them too, because they need to get their authority back to be able to complete their job. And right now they're being stripped of their ability to keep us safe. I do realize that it will impact people's lives. I hope it won't be for that long.
How long is the protest that are you calling for?
There is no designated end date. It is really to get Sergeant Tahmooressi home and to get a plan of action in place to secure our borders.
Stacy, going back to the economic aspect of this one more time, you realize there will probably be a concerted effort to keep those bridges open to ensure that the commercial trucks are able to cross. How do you plan to deal with that?
Well, I know everyone keeps mentioning bridges. We're not going to be on bridges. We are going to be off of federal land and on state property.
Still, you're going to have to be dealing with law enforcement one way or the other, it looks like.
Correct. I just want to clear up that we're not going to be on a bridge.
Okay.
As far as the economic travel, that's part of the reason that will push the government to act. If we don't make something drastic, it's similar to when the airline pilots go on strike, union workers go on strike. People air their grievances and complain about everything, and they stop work.
Stacy, before I let you go, do you have any indication how much support or who's coming to, here to Deep South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley, Texas? Anybody express support for this campaign down here and say, okay, we'll see you on Saturday?
Yes.
You have some folks that are showing up. Do you know which bridges they're showing up to on Saturday?
The major ports are going to definitely be closed. The smaller ones we're not focusing on so much. But the major ones are definitely.
Maybe a ballpark number of how many people said, "Hey, we'll be there with you." Half dozen, or maybe more. I don't know.
No more. Texas is actually very involved. I am not going to be.
Or your
there.
group though? Do they know where they're going to be at?
Yes, they do. It's posted online. It is posted online, and people call in and ask about particular bridges. As far as the exact ones, the final tally hasn't been set yet because I don't want to have people scattered. But as far as McAllen, yes, McAllen will definitely be infected.
Do you realize that you may be making more enemies than friends with this sort of action? Because there are so many more people who are going to be opposed to what you're doing.
Well,
that it may indeed backfire on you.
I hope not. I hope that people realize that our country is not secure right now. It's not. We have anyone and everyone crossing illegally, and I'm waiting for the government to finally step up and do what is required of them, which is to ensure our sovereignty and protect our borders.
Who's organizing this? You, your family, or is this a specific group, someone that we could call in the future?
Me.
Just you?
Just me.
So this is your campaign, your grassroots campaign?
Yes.
They kind of ballooned in cyberspace on Facebook, or you developed a following of, as you said, 1,600 people or so.
Right.
Okay. Stacy, thank you for your time. We'll keep in touch.